I've been lifting weights for over 10 years now, and I'll be honest, conventional lifting has let me down in the later few years. I suffer from low back pain, and the movements like the deadlift just aggravate it every single time, to the point where I basically had to stop deadlifting and figure out other ways to exercise and get stronger that don't aggravate my lower back issues. This is actually pretty difficult. It took me a while to realize that literally even the smallest bit of load, like if I was literally to pick up a barbell with like 40 kilos on it and lower it back down, that's gonna hurt. To be honest, this range of motion here kind of hurts, like especially if I'm in a flare up, if I feel a bit of a niggle here, just this hinging motion, kind of like, I can feel that. So my goal is to get stronger. So I basically had to find sets of exercises that got me stronger, helped my spine recover, that don't aggravate and don't hurt my back, but still align with my goal of getting strong and feeling stronger. So I'm going to show you some of these exercises that I've been doing because they've really helped me a lot. First of all, and you can follow along, most of these exercises are body weight. In fact, first of all, the first thing you can do is just somehow stretch your hip flexors. So what a common cause of back pain is literally just a tight hip flexor. That's what kind of causes the pain in the hips. And if you can relax that, then that can sort of start to alleviate the pain. It can give pain relief, temporary, but if we can relieve that tension before a workout, then we are much more likely to get a better workout in. So what I've found with any sort of hip flexor stretch is if your glute is firing up, that means the opposite muscle is relaxed. So there's some stretches that I find so tight on this side that my glute will not fire up. And all that means is on the front side, it's not relaxing, because when the muscles on the front relax, the muscles on the back can engage. So when I'm doing this, it's so tight, like there, my glute can flex there. But if I move back further, then this all switches off. This means this isn't relaxed. So I'm not gonna stretch when my glute isn't fired up. I'm just gonna stretch in the range of motion that is actually allowing my body to relax. Otherwise it's not gonna do much. So wherever that is, and interestingly enough, the other side, much better. So I don't have to worry so much about this side. Still do the stretch, but see, that's fired up all the way. But yeah, so summons to stretch those hip flexors can help start a workout for sure. And we're gonna strengthen those hip flexors as well, because that's another muscle close to the back. Again, get blood flow to the back. I'll show you how to do that just now. So a minute on each hip flexor at the start of a workout, absolutely fine. So the way we can actually strengthen our hip flexors is by doing a simple leg raise out to the front, holding it, and then lowering it back down with control. So leg up, stick it out, lowering it back down with control. We're looking here to not let our back round. We're keeping a nice neutral spine, so however far the leg can go, and then down So if any of these movements do actually cause pain, then don't do them. There's always another movement, and that's really what this video is about. This is strengthening my hip flexor, it's strengthening my body, it's strengthening my core, and it's not aggravating me. If this was to aggravate me, there would be another hip flexor exercise that I could do that would not aggravate the position, even if it is just a gentle, active stretch. So, I'm going to start this workout with the floor, the feet, my feet first. Now this was pretty much a game changer when I started to realize the problem with why my lower back hurts in the first place. And basically, specifically me, had a knee injury when I was 15, and that has basically left me with a really unstable right knee. And I went to an osteopath, and that's what he said, and it kind of clicked into place, like, oh yeah, I hurt my knee at 15, and then I started to get back pain at like 17, 18. So it just took that time to like go up the chain, and now basically my back is sort of compensating for the instability. And I've always known, I didn't realize that's why my knee felt funny, but it always felt funny. And I know now that it's an instability. He literally grabbed my leg and like shook it side to side and was like, hey, that's not meant to move like that. And it's like, cool. But my point is, the only way to strengthen my body now is from the floor, because if I can make this knee, the way to fix, quote unquote, the way to heal it or help my back heal is by strengthening from the ground up. And I can do this without any sort of back pain. And by doing movements of the ankle, and I'll show you some movements of the knee in a second, I'm actually strengthening all the way up this chain. So the body is so connected. Like if I strengthen from the floor, it is strengthening my back as well. Like there's no way you can distinguish between the two. Like they are the same chain. So it's really important, and it's a really easy exercise to do, is just work the ankles. So this is just a tib raise. I can make this more difficult by standing further away from the wall. And I'm aiming for 20 to 25 reps. We're aiming for the burn. A lot of these movements I'm going to show you today, we're aiming for a burn. Just to get blood flow, pump, and a bit of strength endurance in the area. So we can do a nice calf raise as well. So there's two ways you can do a calf raise. A slightly more difficult way is like a bent knee calf raise. Like so. So for this one, we can stand about a foot away from the wall, 1.5 feet, bend our knees forward to the point where our heels are going to come off the floor, but we're keeping our heels on the floor, and then shove our hips through towards the wall, and then we're sort of Michael Jackson stepping towards the wall. And again, 20, 25 reps with this. If that is too difficult, or you're not quite getting the movement, you can just have straight legs and then straight up and down calf raise, like so. Again, the further you are away from the wall, the more difficult that range, that movement is going to be. And again, 20, 25 reps. When you do so many reps in a set, you don't need to do many sets. 1 or 2 sets is absolutely fine. So continuing with the process of strengthening from the ground up, we are going to do a knee exercise. So this one is like a Poliquin or Peterson step up. Really great for getting loads of strength in the front of your leg and also stability in the tracking of your knee. Your back pain might not stem from your knees, it could stem from somewhere else, but there is no harm in strengthening your knees. It's only going to be a good thing. And when you can't load your body up with exercises like the deadlift, you need to find ways of making your legs strong that doesn't aggravate your back. And trust me, if you do this exercise properly, it is really, really difficult. The key points here is I'm keeping my body straight. I'm not bending at the hips. I'm keeping my hips straight and extended, and then I'm coming in and it's just the knee bending. The higher I have my foot, the more difficult, the more my knee is going to have to bend. And again, 20 to 25 reps on this is going to be a really good, solid workout. But if you're following along, just getting used to it today, just getting a feel for it. And again, I can start to feel the difference on both sides, but that's good to know. It's good to feel that those weak points are actually getting the attention that they need, because in conventional lifting, squats and deadlift, because you're using both legs all the time and there's so much weight, I never realized that this leg was sort of compensating and not doing the same job as the other one. So for a full leg exercise, I think a deep squat or a deep split squat is a good exercise to use for lower back pain, because mainly it stretches out the hip flexor as well, and I've already mentioned the importance of that. So when starting this exercise, I'll just show you so you know what I'm talking about. When starting this exercise, months and months ago, I thought, I'm strong, I can use like a kettlebell here, but every time afterwards it hurt, and we need to listen to our pain, we need to work with it. Pain is like a parking sensor on a car. If it goes off, then listen to it, because you don't want to crash. So my point is, I've dropped the weight, I'm not using weight anymore, and I'm actually using support. And the first time I did this without pain, it was actually, the higher you have your leg basically, the easier it is. So the first time I managed this without any back pain, I actually had my foot really high and I just held it here for a minute. Slight tension, just holding it here for a minute. Isometrics are a great way to gain strength but not aggravate injuries. So this is where I started, 1 minute on each side, and now I've sort of gained confidence in this position where now I'm confident that I can do it. I'm still using a help, and I'm just, to make it more difficult, all I'm doing is slowing down the rep. So I can do 10 reps, but I can make those really difficult by just controlling the full entire range of motion. And again, the way I will progress this even further is by having no step there, still using support. You can use anything for support, it doesn't have to be a stick if you don't have one, and you're just getting a full leg exercise. That's gonna train the glutes, train the knees, train everything in the legs. Not so much the hamstrings, which brings me on to this next exercise. Now, where I learned a lot of this stuff from was guy called Brendon Backstorm from Lower Back Ability, and he uses the back extension for what I'm going to show you here, but I don't actually have a back extension. I do have one on order because I think it's such a great bit of kit, but what he nails is isometric holds to gain strength, confidence and blood flow in the area which hurts. So he actually does a 2-minute hold on a back extension, but if you don't have a back extension, you can just do a 2-minute hold in a glute bridge. And what you'll notice is, like, if you do have any sort of weak points, by the 2 minutes is up, like, everything is going to be fired up and everything is going to be engaging. And there are ways to make this more difficult, but go slowly with this. If you push it too far, you might get pain, but if you do get pain, that's fine. You just know you pushed it a little bit too far. Like, for example, I was testing this yesterday and I was using a one-legged and going for a full minute. That's sort of the standard goal. I think it was too much. It was too much. So I'm going to slow down the progression, play the long game, as Low Back Ability would say. A more simple way of progressing this is just bringing my feet further away from my body, so the hamstrings are going to have to engage a bit more. I'm moving the lever arm to make the exercise more difficult, and then I can even further progress by putting my feet on a bench. And you can make this really difficult, and if I can hold 2 minutes here, then I can go to feet on a bench, learn to hold 2 minutes here, and then maybe I'm ready for 30 seconds on one leg, each legs, and then maybe 45. And then over the period of a few months, I'm gonna gain that confidence and strength in my back that I'll be able to do more difficult things. Now I'm just gonna give you perhaps one more exercise, which is something for rotation. And now I've found this really does not aggravate my back again, likely because it's another isometric hold. So we're going to do a Palov press. You can use a band or a cable for this. I've got a band. I mean, this is quite a strong band, but we can change the difficulty by easier to strong bands. So what you want to do is find a position where there's about an inch or two of tension, and then you're just going to press the band forward and hold. And now with this one, I think about a minute is a pretty good benchmark to go with, to then think about progressing up to the next weight. But starting with 30 seconds is absolutely fine. This is training the rotational muscles in your spine, which are going to help with stability. But rather than say like a wood chopper exercise like this, where you're physically rotating, which would majorly piss off my back, it's training those muscles, but in a really nice, stable position. And basically every time I do this, I just like afterwards, I just feel way more confident and just feel solid, to be honest. And then same again on the other side. I like to find like the foot positioning with my feet, so I'm like the same every time. Keeps it a bit more, so I don't know, you might have something else, but I've got these two lines on the floor here. I just line my feet up, so then it's the same on both sides, like so, and that way it's really easy to progress because you know exactly how difficult it is each time, and you can do longer and then progress to thicker bands. I'm not there yet. We've got time. So that is just a few of the movements that I've been using to strengthen my body when I can't do conventional lifting like deadlifts. Like I can't even load. Like maybe I can squat really slowly with a barbell, but anything else, like just the bar. Anything else is like, it's just not good. And you know what? It's actually really hard. sometimes, because you see other people lifting and you're like, why can't I do that? I'm strong, but for some reason my body's not letting me do that. But what's really good is when you find some movements that don't hurt and then start progressing with those, and like you just start feeling strength in places that you've never even felt it before. Like my feet, I didn't realize that when I'm bending over to pick something up, like once you get stronger ankles, you actually feel that is like supporting everything. Like the body is so connected just by bending over, like, and this being strong, there's less tension here on my back because this foot is taking like a lot of that tension. So just little wins like that have been great. I'll probably progress to lifting one day, but at the moment, however long it takes, I'm happy to just give it the time and get stronger in different places. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.